Oh, Trevor, check out Super 7. They have like a 14-inch long and 10-inch Godzilla and Biollante statues.
Awesome.
Biollante.
And they look awesome.
What up, people? We're back again. Black and White Fright. Tonight's the last night. But I'll tell you what, if I go live during November on HorrorWithSirSturdy on this side, I will be in black and white. I don't give a shit if I'm gaming or what. It'll be in black and white. But we're here tonight to discuss this movie right here. And I gotta tell you guys something too, but I'll tell you that after. Boris Karloff, the Body Snatchers. And of course, the homie Bela Lugosi is in this. Yes, he's the homie now. I've been watching a lot of his shit lately. But I gotta tell you guys something. For those of you who have been watching and listening to HorrorWithSirSturdy over the years, you hear me talk a lot of shit about vampire movies, but I found one that I love. It's called The Vampire. It came out in 1950 something. I don't remember. It's on my TikTok. You guys can check it out over there to see the movie cover and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is, I'm happy I found that one. And then the day after, I found another cool vampire movie, The Return of Dracula, which I actually like better than the original Dracula film. But it was cool to see some enjoyable vampire films. I just had to go back into the 30s and shit, I guess.
Well, are you excited for Ryan Coogler's new one?
I am. I'm excited for the new Nosferatu.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So yes, I am excited for those. For me, vampire movies, a lot of them are just a hit or miss. Like, there's no. Maybe I'll have to go through and watch them again, but from what I can remember, there's none that are just like, oh, that's all right. I could, it's all right. It's usually like I like it, or I'm just like, I don't need to see this shit again.
Did you like The Lost Boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard not to. It's just a fun movie.
It is. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If he said he didn't like it, I'm like, that's you motherfucker.
It's an icon of its time. I mean, the film, whether you like it or not, it lives beyond the film now. It is true 80s nostalgia.
Very, very, very true.
And that Cry Little Sister is one of my all-time favorite songs.
Have you seen this movie? If you have, shit, I'll send you a link.
Yeah, come review. Come review with us all.
Yeah, Paul with me.
I'm the singer now.
It's right here. Just popping that up there for you.
The Body Snatcher.
Listen, Curveball Paul.
Never seen it.
Calm down. We're talking about the Body Snatcher.
I don't know if I've seen that or not.
Are you avoiding the Body Snatcher?
No. I was
like, because I mean, if you guys really didn't like it, I think it's going to be one of those.
So, I like it.
I
had a good time with this movie. I enjoyed it.
Awesome, good.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into it.
Can I just say, Karloff's look in this? He's such a maniacal, dastardly character. Such a wonderful change of pace in horror, especially looking backwards. You know, I know I'm going to catch some shit for it, but I think this might be, as of right now, my favorite Karloff role.
Oh,
it is definitely in his top 5.
Nice.
No question.
I might have to go look back at others, just that I might have missed or whatever. But yeah, right now this is the one. He was so good in this.
Yeah.
Oh, Karloff. Unlike Bela Lugosi was a freaking awesome actor, but also Bela Lugosi could not do certain things that Karloff could do almost better than anybody. His performances are truly almost method actor, and it's because he just had so much love. But yeah, I mean, Karloff is insane in this film. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and just the whole thing, the set dressing, which for me back in the day is always a big deal. Like I thought Dracula was breathtaking with its art direction and production design, and the same with Frankenstein and so many Wolfman. They all come to mind. These big epic horror back in the day for the day, and then you have movies like this, which is fantastically done and such beautiful imagery that they add to it, but it's also so sinisterly dark and gothic in tone.
The evolution of Hollywood Gothic.
Yeah, but that's something. It's not the type of Gothic we ever get.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's so sad because this is such a good Gothic tale.
Yeah, I definitely like these style movies, the Gothic style. Then the storytelling. It was kind of like I was watching. I think Aaron, you might have mentioned before, kind of like an Edgar Allan Poe fucking poem.
Considered Gothic literature.
Yeah, it's like Gothic literature. Yeah.
Well,
I like it.
If you don't mind, since you guys brought it up, I want to touch a little bit upon that concept of Gothic. So, not going to give a speech or anything, don't worry. Okay. But to understand what Gothic means, you have to look at Elizabethan and Victorian authors. That would include the Brontes. It would include Nathaniel Hawthorne, Henry James. These were sometimes ghost stories, but they had such a very intriguing aesthetic. And that became known as Gothic. This then was expanded upon a bit by the German expressionists, but the key change that created what is called Hollywood Gothic came in 1931. And it is, there are about 3 people that created what we know as Hollywood Gothic. Carl Laemmle Jr., who put his ass on the line when his father said, Dracula is shit. Todd Browning, who put his ass on the line to make a great film. And most importantly, James Whale deciding to take a concept that the studio was done with, and he created Frankenstein. So the images of those 1931 films very much dictate what our concept in the United States Gothic is. It has grown so much more, but what makes this an interesting Gothic film is there's the element like RKO and people like Val Lewton, where the money wasn't there, but all the creativity and all the lust for cinema was there. How can we create monsters without having the monsters? You start seeing things like this film, an adaptation of the actual Burke and Hare crime, Jack the Ripper, Elizabeth Bathory. This starts becoming the Gothic that is now part of this film. So, yeah, it's a favorite subject of mine.
That's awesome. And while we're at it, though, Trevor, while we're on it, because you were at the stuff you sent me earlier, and just because we did just discuss it a little bit, Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff, I know you wanted the collaboration with the two. How you want to bring more about that?
Okay, well, there's a lot of lore that points to Bela Lugosi hating Karloff and that. That's not true. So the supposed massive beef came from the fact that when Frankenstein first came out in the trade papers as a green-lighted project, Bela Lugosi was set to star. This was a troubled production from day one, and if it wasn't for James Whale, James, either way. Okay, as I was saying, I did lose my train of thought, and this is going to happen. What was the question?
Well, we were talking about how James Whale was the one that advanced the troubled production of Frankenstein.
Yes, Frankenstein.
And Bela Lugosi was set to star.
So, but yes, thank you. Thank you very much. So he was set to star, but after he discovered there were no lines, he turned it down. With James Whale basically grabbing onto what was considered a dead project, he cast Karloff. And Karloff then became Frankenstein in an amazing film, but it also created this amazing partnership between Jack Pierce, the makeup director, and Boris Karloff. And this is the thing, he was a fringe supporting player for quite a while, roughies. But there's so much, especially around that time of Frankenstein, and from there on, Boris Karloff was considered one of the most gracious men in Hollywood. So,
Nice.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry I had a ADHD moment, and I hope I answered a question.
That is. That wow, man. And again, just watching all these damn black and white movies. The Devil Bat is still my favorite, but
Oh, they're beautiful, and it's
it's
such a
just
different
so
style of filmmaking.
different style of filmmaking, different style of storytelling. And even though it seemed like some of it seems simpler, but I'm like, this simpler is better because sometimes movies they overcomplicate and try to do too much and tell too much, and I'm like, when it happens to where you're trying to tell, like, say, when the movie they try to tell like 14 different stories at once. I'm like, we barely care about 12 of these people. We barely even fucking know them. I don't know why you're telling these 12 different stories to begin with. These two, cool. These two, cool. Go deep with these two. These people, they could just be the extras that are just running around or whatever. They don't need a deep story. And I like how these kind of just focus on, if it's a group, it's a small group of people, and there's like a main focus, and then they just get right to it. They just get right to it. They don't take all day and night to tell you the damn story. I mean, some of these movies like an hour and a half max is what I've been seeing so far. I know there's longer ones, but I've been avoiding that. But what I'm getting at though is like nowadays we're getting every movie where it's just like not everything needs to be an hour and a half either. Some of these movies like an hour and 10 minutes. Boom, done. Let's get back to that. Let's make that the norm.
I'm going to finish answering your question real quick while we think about that. I apologize.
Oh, you're good. You're
okay,
good.
the relationship between Bela and Karloff. So they produced several films. I think there's about 8 collaborations with this is, I think Body Snatcher was the last. I'm not 100% certain. That produced some of the greatest Gothic horror films ever to come out of Hollywood. We're talking about The Black Cat, and we're also talking about The Raven. These are 2 actors that respect each other immensely. And to watch what is called the Birking scene in this film, in which Karloff kills Joseph, that scene, the entire thing, once they sit down and talk, to once Joseph is killed, no one can tell me that is not a powerhouse performance between 2 actors that love each other.
That's the best scene in the movie.
So that was my point. Sorry.
No, that's the best scene in this movie.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah. There was a lot of love between them.
And Karloff, man, he understood the assignment of being a cabman and a gravedigger, and just being able to like suffocate a man with those giant hands, and he's so strong. I mean, you're digging up graves every night, also working with horse and buggy. There's a lot in it's not like a car. They had to do some work back in the day. And so this, so he played it right. Like he played like this really strong, like even confident man. Like I've got you right where I want you the whole time. I don't even have to be. And then when he finally does spring into action, it's like he's still so overbearing. God damn, it was such a good role. It really was.
My favorite thing is when he told the doctor that it's not about the money. Where he goes, I want you because I feel like basically like powerful. Like if you're gone, it's like I forgot how he explained it. Like he don't need to be rich because he goes, he'll rather have him to bother every day.
Revenge blackmail.
Yep. That's what got him off. And he wanted to keep that. That's why he didn't kill him.
Yeah.
And these characters are loosely connected to the actual Burke and Hare trials of around 1828. This, as you brought it up, so Burke and Hare were two guys that started working with various doctors to give them anatomy subjects in the best way possible, and that was to dig up graves. They eventually ended up befriending a Dr. Knox. This Dr. Knox was high enough in the Edinburgh area. Yes, this film takes place in Edinburgh. These crimes happened in Edinburgh. So it got to the point that Burke and Hare started killing people. And in the trial, Burke was killed by the state. Hare was left free, and Dr. Knox got off with immunity. Now, look at the relationship between Gray and Wolf. That is so Hare and Knox.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but so this yet again, as I said, is a new form of Gothic. RKO, Val Lewton. It's like, we need monsters. They hold the license, so we got to create. We're going to dig into some history. So
It worked.
Awesome shit.
See, and this was a first time watch for me, which I always
Same.
enjoy a first time watch, and I'm just like, man, like this is just, how can you not enjoy this? How can you not have a good time with this? And I couldn't turn my head. Like, you know, those movies just like locked in, and I'm just like, just real focused, just thinking like, Jesus, man, why did it take me so long to watch this one? Because I've heard of this. I know I've definitely heard. I definitely heard of this and just never went to it. It's probably been recommended to me and just never went to it until now. I gotta stop doing stuff like that.
I mean, you want to know why this is such a rewarding film?
It fell into. I'll get to that point really quick, Trevor. I'll let you get to that point really quick. It fell right into. I mean, because I'm doing the black and white thing for November, so it fell right into like the perfect timing. But it's still one of those ones I kind of wish that I just watched a little sooner, even if it was like last month. Just a little sooner.
And this takes place in England?
Yes, Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, England?
Edinburgh for the film, Edinburgh for the Robert Louis Stevenson short story that this is based on, and also Edinburgh for the actual Burke and Hare crimes.
That's great.
And there's like from the film to the crime, like 101 years. It's like creepy.
That's
nice.
Yeah.
Damn.
I love this film. I love Val Lewton. It's just amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And I love Robert Wise.
I was telling a story about Robert Wise.
Earlier.
He made one of my most favorite films, and he made one of my most hated films.
Ooh, you're gonna have to share.
I do not have to share. I'll let you guess.
Sound of Music.
Say Gone with the Wind is one of the worst.
The
Sound of the Music.
Sound of Music. I hate that movie.
He does.
I hate that movie so much. It's so stupid.
I don't like it either.
I'm sorry.
No,
I can't. No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be disciplined. I'm not gonna get mad over that dumb movie.
There's too many things that pissed me off about it. Like the family could have left.
We wouldn't have the, all the wonderful memes.
Good point.
So, Robert made a contribution to new media.
Yep. And Mick, that was Madonna's favorite movie. That movie inspired her to sing. You didn't know that, did you?
What? Who? What?
Madonna.
That doesn't.
I don't give a shit.
It was on.
Because you know what's happening right now?
Television on.
You got Christians all over TV singing about sucking dick.
That is true. I see the videos too. All these churches are singing like a prayer.
They have no fucking idea what it's about.
Shit.
Or they do. That's even crazier.
It's all about that first 10-minute in Reservoir Dogs.
Oh,
that's
shit.
what Like a Virgin's about.
Oh my god.
No, but Like a Prayer is about sucking dick.
Yeah, it is. And they actually point that out in there too.
I remember when the music video came out and she screwed Pepsi over.
Yeah.
Because she sucked Jesus' dick. And he was a black man.
Hey.
Hey, the
Wow.
Hey, so I don't care what anybody says.
That's-
Madonna definitely has elements of distinct punk culture.
You might know what's sad? That song is one of my favorite Madonna songs.
Mine too. Mine too.
Oh, I saw the video when it premiered. I thought
Yeah.
it was revolutionary.
It was on Fox.
I actually started liking her as an artist after I saw that.
Yeah, and because it was on Fox, which arguably, ironically, was one of the most punk rock stations back in the day.
Because Rupert Murdoch didn't care.
Fuck, dude.
It was just a holding and he forgot about it.
Wow.
Until.
Yep. Anyway.
Back to this video. Oh, so I had a good moment during while I was watching this movie. So for some reason, I was watching the movie and I just randomly thought of my grandmother. I was like, I think my grandmother would have watched this movie with me.
Oh,
that's really awesome.
I love that.
Do you remember watching a lot of movies with your grandmother?
So I used to skip school a lot, and my grandma used to sit in the kitchen because she lived with us. She was like my second mother. And I used to sit in the kitchen with her and watch Wheel of Fortune, Waltons.
Oh my God, the Waltons,
Days of Our Lives, and all the shows with her.
That is
all
super
day.
awesome.
Yeah, those were
I don't care what people say,
Oh,
but
the
I know
Lawrence
for me,
Welk
I have
show?
a lot of memories based on that, and they're beautiful, and they're great parts of my childhood.
Yeah,
I must have seen every Lawrence Welk show and the Waltons. I seen
every
them all.
Saturday night on PBS. I think it was 6 or 7. The Lawrence Welk show would go on.
Yes, it was.
And it was.
I don't know that one.
You don't need to know that one.
No, it's just a whole bunch of white people singing songs on a stage.
Singing songs. It was polka music.
Yeah, polka music. Yeah.
Let's just say it's problematic, and we'll leave it at that.
But I really like this movie.
James is actually 60. Murder, She
No,
Wrote.
I don't know why they played it. Remember, dude, all we had on TV back in the day, because cable wasn't even really, like, it was just starting.
I couldn't afford cable.
Shit. Yeah, I couldn't either, but like it was just starting. So like all you had was old shit. Like you had remakes of everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And there was nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and the bubble machine, when the bubbles come through, Troy knows.
Again, that's why I've been saying it a lot, but that's why I feel like I like black and white movies so much, because I used to watch so many black and white shows back in the day. Cable or not, late night you get them black and white shows just randomly they be coming on and shit.
Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy.
Yep.
The Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
The Outer Limits.
Oh yeah, that one.
I was more of a Twilight Zone guy. Gilligan's Island was my jam. I fucking love
it. Admitted it.
Gilligan's Island.
That was fun.
Troy admitted it.
The Monsters.
He admitted it. Somebody.
I watched the Monsters.
I'm with you, bud. I'm old too.
Does anybody remember this wonderful sci-fi show called The Invaders?
No.
Okay, so The Invaders starred Roy Thennis, and there were 2 seasons. I think it was for CBS, but it was written and developed by Larry Cohen. Yes, Mr. The Stuff Q, Larry Cohen.
Another director you could do, and that would be wild.
Yeah, The Stuff was a fun one. But yeah,
I can get you actual recorded quotes from when I interviewed him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, amazingly crazy, but very gracious human being, because he was the one that only made political films, quote unquote.
He was
such a New Yorker.
He's not only the director of like Black Caesar early in his career and stuff like that, but like one
of in Harlem.
He was the director of what was it?
Got that Kodo?
No. The revival in 1995. Was it Real OGs?
Oh yes, he was. Because he always had a very close relationship with Williamson.
Yep, and he said he didn't want anybody else to do it. If they're going to try and revive,
wonderful things to say about Cohen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Was that real? What was it? Dude, they got everybody back. It was basically a copy of, it was a serious copy of I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
I think I did.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I've never watched it though.
So
No.
it's actually a very culturally significant comedy. It's really amazing.
Fucking Wayne's brothers are perfect. Keenan and Wayne's great in it.
That's why they brought it up on the Wayans brothers. Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that was like one of his early hits.
Let me check it out.
That's a great double feature with The Last Dragon.
I love The Last Dragon. Aaron,
That is.
I was going to tell you, I forgot. Last Dragon might be my favorite movie.
That's a
really
great
cool.
pick.
It's
Really?
Because no matter when that shit's on, I can watch it over and over.
You know what's so dope about that, and like how I told you my two favorites, The Lion King and White Fang, is it's not even your favorite your favorite genre.
No,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's just too good of a friggin' movie, dude.
Oh, yes.
I just love everything about that movie.
I do.
I love
too.
the ending, the song, the power of the glow, the fight scene at the end. Love it.
Oh yeah, we reviewed it a few months ago, and it felt so good to watch and review that, just to watch that movie again, and brought me back to watch it with my older brother Zach back in the day. I don't know if my younger brother watched it at all, but we used to watch it, and then anytime that came on, you had to have the glow.
That would pair also well with Big Trouble in Little China.
What?
Last Dragon.
I would if we didn't do it already. I would definitely do that movie.
Oh no, I'm just saying watch movies.
You're chilling. See, I'm always thinking content wise, especially because you said to pair with. I'm thinking popcorn and pints, and yeah. But
that would be a fun one too for you on TikTok.
What one?
Like when you watch a movie, if you can think of something it pairs well with, you'd be like, if you want to do a double feature, I suggest this movie. You know, nothing major, just a little added on. You know.
Yeah.
I could never keep up with it because of just. But for about 2 years now, if you follow some of my pages, I decided that the best way for me to actually attack, revisiting my collection was to start trying to pair double features. And if you go down, it's just a list of the double features that I decided. And that sole purpose was, okay, I want this, but I want to keep digging back into my collection. So yeah, it's like a music playlist. I love doing it.
That's another thing I could do and should do, and I'm glad that you said that, Trevor. Thank you so much. Is going through my collection and boom, there's content right there, and it's like, oh shit, I finally watched this movie that I bought 6 years ago. That's still in the fucking plastic.
Yeah,
it is a thing.
Oh yeah, I got some ideas with that because I can pair that with something else too. Yeah. Oh man. I just find more and more ways to keep me busy.
Hey, that's not a bad thing.
Not at all. I love it because it's something I enjoy doing.
Good.
Editing to do too. I need an assistant. I need to get rich so I can get an assistant. Like, listen, I need you to edit these videos. Me and James have recorded about 5 or 6 movies. Trevor was involved in some of these. I just haven't had time to get to them yet to edit those, to drop that, and some shows and shit. Gonna get to it though, people. I'm going to get to it. I got some time off. I'm gonna try to do it over the holidays a little bit here and there. Awesome. Not too much because you don't want to just be locked into this too much. Which content creators, spend time with your family this holiday season. Don't be locked into your shit too much.
It's true.
Until you run out of ideas and all that other bullshit.
Okay, so this is random, but you brought up about vampires. So, in doing some research and things like that. Okay, so Robert Wise pretty much got his start with Val Lewton. The first thing that Robert Wise technically did was come in and be an assistant director to Orson Welles for The Magnificent Ambersons. But it was Curse of the Catwoman, which was Robert Wise's first film. This led him into a very, very great collaboration for several things with Val Lewton. And I bring it up because of the vampire thing, because apparently, okay, so before Dracula, there was a short story called Carmilla. and it is a vampire story. They both wanted to create a film, and there was a script started that was of Camilla, except it was going to take place in the Civil War. Now, talk about cool ideas by two geniuses that never happened. Sorry, totally random, but
Oh no, you're good.
vampire.
Good.
So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Man,
movies, the gift that keeps on giving.
Damn right. You damn right they do.
Yeah, Day the Earth Stood Still is one of my absolute favorites.
Who?
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Oh,
Absolute favorites. Great movie. Love West Side Story, one of his big ones. I don't love the story of the motion picture. I do like certain elements of it, and I do like the cinematography and certain stuff he did. So I still respect what he did on that. Love the sand pebbles. Dog shit ass The Sound of Music.
What are your feelings on the original Star Trek movie?
I mean, like I said, there's elements of it that I do.
Oh yeah, I like it. I think there are issues, but it's made by a craftsman, so
it's a pretty disaster.
Yes.
I want to show you guys a couple movies that I think you should check out. They are out TikTok and all that shit, but I'm gonna start off with this one, The Killer Shrews.
Oh, it's great.
Yo.
Oh, love it.
James, you would have a fucking blast with this. I'm directing this towards you because these two have already seen it. You would have so much fun with this. It's a fun-ass creature feature from 1959.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
It's awesome. And then The Return of Dracula. Again,
Good
I like it more than the
film.
original. Had a great time with it. I'm not gonna spoil this one though. I won't spoil it. I did on TikTok a little bit, but yes, all I'll tell you is he comes to America and not like Eddie Murphy did. And I'm gonna bring this up again because this right here is my favorite black and white horror movie, and until something beats it, I'm gonna keep blasting this to tell you guys to watch it because I just had such a great. I don't know what it was that had me locked into this, but I loved it. And now I'm gonna show you my favorite vampire movie. Boom.
Great film. I'm so happy you stumbled upon it because it is kind of fringy as far as it's people who know about it, because it is such a wonderful hybrid. And yeah,
It really is. And again, the coolest thing about it is the way that he turns into a vampire. Like, don't get me wrong, seeing them getting bit and all that other stuff, that's cool and all, but this is just something completely different, like you said earlier, with the sci-fi mixed with the horror. And it's it's gonna sound, well, no, it's refreshing because it's the first time watch for me. I know that movie's old as shit, but it's refreshing because it's the first time watch for me. That's why I'm saying that. I'm not saying it's refreshing because it's a new idea, because obviously it's not. It's from the 50s. But for me being a first time watch for me, it's definitely refreshing. If you've never seen that, I highly, highly, highly recommend that. Like, over any vampire movie, if you're gonna watch anything, watch that first.
Mm-hmm.
I love that fucking movie. I love that fucking movie. I don't know.
Don't even watch Batman, you motherfuckers.
Batman?
So don't even watch Batman.
Nah, fuck Batman. No, I take that back.
Oh, real quick, speaking of Batman, side note, Batman Beyond 1 is a short on YouTube, and everybody said it's awesome. It's a fan film.
Ooh.
Live action.
Very
That's
cool.
awesome. I will
definitely check that out.
There was, with consent from the Nimoy estate and from William Shatner, they made I don't know if it was visual effects or AI that they used, probably both, a mixture of both, but it was called like Unification. It was a 30 years after Generation. It's a beautiful little short story. If you're a Star Trek fan, go check it out. For sure. A good connection comes back to roost.
Nice.
So, Mick, you said you didn't like the ending.
Yeah,
really.
I just thought it was a little like, I mean, listen, the guy at the end was a fetus. He becomes the Green Lantern all of a sudden. Weird.
Oh no, I was talking about the tonight's movie.
So much.
That's fetus, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about superhero shit.
He
I
became
got
the Green
confused for a
Lantern at
second
the
there.
end.
Oh
He had
shit!
the lantern. That's the Green Lantern.
Gotcha. I got you now.
I
was
saw
lost.
that and I'm like, that's the exact Green Lantern. That's the exact. That's exactly what the lantern is. I was like, this is unironic, and I love it. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it was just that. It was. I thought there wasn't enough. There was a thrill with the chase, but I saw it coming, like where it was going.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been a little more intriguing if like Fettis had killed him and just left the bodies and dug them back up and then just left and just kept quiet about where, what happened to the doctor and such.
Mhm.
But that's my brain just kind of surfing. I'm not trying to say I did it better. But the ending I got, I just didn't. I was like, it's
Okay.
forced.
There were a lot of changes to this by the code or a request. Well, the code at that time even would point out certain things, but otherwise, as a director, you basically re-edit it in a way or whatever.
Mhm.
But there were multiple elements. This was a salacious film, just as Straight Jacket was a salacious film at this time.
Mhm.
It's very dark territory. So yeah, so the ending is a little weird, partially from my understanding, is that Luton had to change what he wanted to do, which was basically the doctor would get off with immunity, and there would be that ambiguity that would be connected to the original case. But what the code didn't want, number one, was evil never wins. So yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah, no,
So
I know.
you
I
have
realized.
him going off that, and so yeah, there was a different idea. It unfortunately fell when Luton rewrote it himself after the code flipped.
No, I mean, I definitely get that. I know it's code error. I meant that was my end. I was like, that's what
Okay,
I would have preferred to have seen.
I was just saying, this is probably why, because it's not what they wanted.
Let's dive into ratings real quick, gents. James, what do you got?
I really enjoyed this. Great story. I'm going to give it an 8.
8. How about you, Trevor?
I'll give it an 8.
8. Mick?
I'm actually gonna go to a 9 on this one. I really enjoyed this one.
A 9. I'm gonna give this one a 6.5. I did have a good time with it, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I did have a good time with it. Just I guess I didn't like it as much as you guys did.
The genesis of this movie is really, really interesting. I mean, Robert Wise and Luton actually hired professional child psychologists to read the scenes that they had written around the girl. This is how, like, RKO, I hate to use this term anymore, but is kind of like early Miramax in Hollywood. So yeah, you're getting that kind of crazy creativity. So sorry, I just
No, you're good. You're good.
That was good information.
What's some stuff you guys watched recently? Movies. Doesn't even have to be horror.
Jesus, that's a loaded question, pal.
I'll say like just because I said 4, I'll say 4 movies. The last 4 movies you watched.
I watched the 2 movies for Popcorn and Pints today.
Yeah, I watched those 2 recently. Gladiator 2, Red 1.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, there's tons of shit. I just can't remember what it is now. You're killing me, Smalls. Watched Good Boys again last night.
Again? Oh, that's what you said.
That fucking movie's so funny, man.
So funny, dude.
Oh, it is. It is.
I can't wait for you to see the package, dude. It is.
I already seen it. Yeah, it's wild.
Oh, him.
No, I didn't watch either one.
Oh shit!
Tomorrow.
It's gonna be a wild ride. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw Juror number 2. I love that movie. Conclave. That was a great movie.
I've heard nothing but amazing things about that.
It was great. That Juror number 2 is up there, but like that one might be my favorite of the year. Yep, Miss Scene Snobs here. Good Boys. That's right. We watched it last night.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, the soundtrack is amazing.
I agree. Loved it.
One of the best soundtracks. And Seth Rogen, man.
Funny. I'm hoping the package is the movie that I'm thinking it was from Netflix.
You have no idea what you're getting into.
So,
There was like one clip that I remember sending to the group chat months ago, probably even a couple of years ago. And I remember sending that clip maybe more than once. And I'm just hoping this is the right movie. But either way, from what you guys are saying, I'm going to be in for a wild, weird ride.
it's so ridiculous at certain points, but you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Heretic. I saw Heretic too.
Ooh,
How was that?
I've also
That's
heard
good?
amazing things about that.
It's a good movie. I definitely think it's worth. The ending was good. I really liked the movie all the way through. It just it was one tone all the way through, and then by the time we get there, I'm just like, all right, this is still very good.
Nice.
I'm just kind of missing where we were,
Mhm.
sort of. If you know that, so it's just more of a personal preference, but definitely think all horror fans check it out if they're really into that, especially A24 horror.
That's that religion one, right?
Hugh Grant, in my opinion, is as Mr. Reed in this is on the same level as Hannibal Lecter, played by
Nice.
Hopkins.
Yeah, I think I might be seeing it Sunday.
Worth it.
Nice.
Worth it for sure.
Definitely gotta check that out. That's some high praise right there, Mick.
Yeah, it's a good one. And I don't love every A24 movie that comes out.
Mm-mm.
Like there's some I'm just like, you guys are pushing it.
We've had debate about ones.
Yeah. And like even the ones we debate, I recognize how they can be very good.
Mm-hmm.
You know why people really enjoy them. There are some that A24 puts out, and it's just like Jesus. Like, come on. So there's like this is a tough movie. It's
you like X and all those one, right?
I liked X. I liked Pearl. I liked Maxine, and I liked Pearl, and I like X.
Okay.
It's not my favorite in the bunch, but I've never been a Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy. Like I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I respect Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and like Next Generation and stuff like that because I like the campiness. If I'm getting slasher, I like the campiness.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
You know,
and out of those, my favorite is the one from 2003.
Serious slashers don't scare me. Serious slashers are just like
more for the gore.
What's his name in this? Boris Karloff in this. His sinisterness is scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of slasher I like. You know, if it's going to be serious tone. Otherwise, be campy and let's have some fun.
Gotcha.
I definitely get that.
That personal preference again. But, you know.
No, I love it. Not gonna lie to you guys. 03, TCM. It's just, I think because it's so in your face with a lot of it. The serious tone with it. The cop, one of my favorite characters of the whole damn franchise. Because you seen him.
Well, I've never been like a gore porn guy. So like the really gory movies, I'm not against them. They don't scare me. Like I like the Terrifier movies, you know. I like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. I've just never been. That's never been my element. So like when movies like that come out and they really stand out for me, like they're special. So like the filmmaking is a big part of it.
Well, just as a roundtable question, I already know James. What's your favorite subgenre of horror? If you had to choose, like mine's slasher, but I also like the slasher that's real gory. You know what I mean? Like if it fits it though, if it's over the top and doesn't work for it, then I'm like, eh.
It's a great question. I mean, it's probably gonna be more classic. If I'm being honest, I'd have to really think about this. And next time I'm on a show, if I could give you an answer,
that's fair.
I'd really like to think about that because there's so many different ones with so many different elements that I adore about horror.
Yeah,
it's hard for me not even to say horror comedy because it's good horror comedy. Like how do you argue against like Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein?
So this is how I do it. It's like, say, okay, you just blank out right now. Say you sit on your couch, you go, I'm going to watch horror. What you lean toward? Do you automatically go right to horror comedy? Do you go to haunted houses?
It's a mood. It's a mood.
So so yours is a mood thing. Okay.
Yeah, it really is for me. Because I mean, I think out of everybody, I probably go more familiar horror, which is slasher for the most part. When I'm comfort watching.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that's the same for everybody. But like,
Mhm.
if I'm really, I just like smart horror, and that's why I do like horror comedy. A really good horror comedy to great can be amazingly smart horror, but I just like smart horror, and there's too many now, in my opinion, presently, that are trying to pass themselves off as smart, elevated movies, and I'm just like, yeah, it's just not what this is. You're not hitting out. You're sacrificing story to be smart. It's actually sacrificing story to be woke, and I'm not trying to diminish somebody being woke, but like in a story, if you are trying to pitch agenda over telling the story, it's not smart. It's not smart story, and it's not going to be good in my opinion. You know, it could be pretty, it can have great characters, it could be fun, but it's just, I mean, you get bored of it.
Idealism over
I agree.
plot.
Yeah.
What about you,
It doesn't
Trevor?
matter what it is. I mean, Pepsi.
Yeah.
if you're more concerned about what Pepsi's about, you're
Yep.
going to miss the whole point. And you know,
Exactly.
you can apply that to anything, but it's as Mick said, it doesn't help. So
Yeah, ruins it.
You have a
for me.
favorite subgenre, Trevor, for horror?
I could go into different ones, but I'm going to embrace the indecisive subgenre of horror that can be applied to so many things, and that is folk horror.
Ah,
The
okay.
ADHD of the horror genres.
And you know what? Folk horror is usually the smartest of the
It's
dramatic.
also very, very
Yeah.
smart. It does delve into the psychological,
That's true.
but it's, you know, everything from like, you know, chupacabra tornado to, you know, a very quiet film about ghost in Iceland.
Yep. That is
Yeah.
true.
That's why Trevor's the man, because he says shit like that and he watches and enjoys shit like that. Like you go from a chupacabra tornado to just a ghost story in Iceland. Like just something that's
The
a lot
last
more.
one is actually a film, but I don't know about the chupacabra. I'd watch it.
Well, that's what I mean. Though I would watch it too. We would all watch it.
Super tornado.
Like, hey, listen, if that's not a movie, that needs to be a movie.
There's a catnado.
I did.
Yeah, that just came out, I think.
I did hear about that.
Too much, you know me.
I just
you
don't have
know
a
me
low
with
enough
those.
self-esteem to watch it, but I want to.
I
You know
can't
me
do
with
it.
all of these fucking gimmick movies. I hate.
I
Gimmicks.
hate Sharknado, and now you got putting cats in there. What the fuck is going on?
I didn't mind Sharknado, the first one, because I was like, okay, it's funny. They're really like, it's Sci-Fi Network. They're going super cheesy, but now it felt like they were owning it. Like for the first time, it really felt like, you know what, guys, we've been doing this on the sly. Let's just go for it. You know, that sort of feels
Kind of a
like
little
Fast and the Furious.
self-referential in their delivery. Yeah.
Sharks.
Yeah, I was like, cool. And then when the second one came out, I was like, all right, you know, now they're gimmicking it up again, trying to make some more money. By the time, I don't know, there's like 7,000. Oh, yeah, whatever. But then there's like everything else is in either a tornado or a hurricane or and then the gimmicks.
Is a megalodon.
Then the cocaine bear, which was funny and great and a really fun movie, but now it's Raccoon and it's like, and then it's Winnie the Pooh, and then it's like that. I do
Winnie the Pooh too.
So do you want to know what my least? I'm sorry to cut you off on your show. You got me on a rant though, dude. Sorry, it's your fault. My least favorite fucking horror genre is goddamn gimmicks. It's the lowest form. It's that if there's elevated horror and then you have campy horror and all this other stuff, that is the lowest brow form of horror there is. If anything, if this were the 1920s, that would be the one we send off to that clinic or the asylum, and we're just like, there's something a little wrong with them. You know, like that's how bad gimmick horror is, in my opinion. And
Okay.
and con, and I don't give a shit because I don't give a shit about celebrities. They're all fucking pedophiles anyway. But and the con groups are like the ones that are owning it and living in it right now. And it's like, get the fuck out of here. Like why the gimmicky stuff? You guys are talented actors. Why has it got to be the gimmicky stuff? I know working and all that other stuff, but I'm like, it's the fucking filmmakers. It's not the actor's fault. It's the filmmakers. Make better fucking movies, dude. I understand the exploitation movies, but at least when you go back to the Corman and you go back to the Val Lutens, you know, even before them, he was sort of on that same track. You know, it's not low budget, but like it was for the time. It wasn't the Universal monsters. You know, stuff like that. Like nothing wrong with that, but they were all interesting. There's no bullshit that's interesting when it comes to gimmick movies. There's not one like even Cocaine Bear. I was like, if this didn't exist, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
You know, but
I'm gonna go ahead. Sturdy.
No, that's it. Like, I will agree with Sturdy though. He did try to say something. I cut him off, and I'm sorry. I did watch the Winnie the Pooh sequel, and miles ahead better. They're trying. They got it. Like now, it's not a gimmick. They actually want to make something. Still a gimmick. It's still a gimmick, but it seems I'm fine with a gimmick if you're actually trying.
Yeah, and well,
it's
what
fun
I was
to
going to
see
say
people play with public domain.
Oh, God, it is not.
But no, what I was going to say with that too, though, is like how you're saying that movie did improve, and I'm glad it did from the first one to the second one. From the story they got better with, and then the visuals were 1,000 times better, or 1,000 times better. So when they do it like that, I get it. If it's like that first kind of let's just get this money and then let's really do something with it, I love it and I respect it. But then there's some shit like the what the hell it was? I think it's Cinderella or some shit we went to go see. That was bad. That was bad. And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna keep watching the shit because that's what Sturdy does. That's what I do. That's what I do. Because sometimes you run into gems that way. You go through a lot of bullshit, but you'll get a couple gems.
Well, I think if anybody's gonna do horror fairy tales, they need to do it out of the real books. Was it the Grimm? Who
Grimm Fairy Tales and Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah, Christian Andersen. They gotta do it. They gotta do it those versions.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily agree,
especially the Grimm, but the Hans Christian Andersens are not as sweet and dandy as everyone might expect. They're not horrible, but you know.
I'll tell you, like for me with the fairy tales, I think you could take those anywhere. Like to me, like they don't have to be gimmicky. We've seen actually well done horror movies shaped around fairy tales and such. Like of course, like the Winnie the Pooh, like what they're doing now is gimmicky because it's like the gimmick is the public domain, not so much the fairy tale itself. Because if they take the story, the fairy tale, they're going to have a good story. But they're not with that. They're just like, oh, it's public domain. Let's just kill people and people will love it. It's like, I saw that Mickey Mouse movie. Considering it's all like Canadian young filmmakers and such, I applaud them for making a movie, but like, you could have done that with anybody else. Did you really have to add Mickey Mouse to get the gimmick? But like, I don't know. I just don't. The gimmicks bother me. They really do.
I guess the way I could look at it too, just to shoot them some bails, it's just like we want to get eyes on our film, and we know with this Mickey shit, it's going to get eyes on it. I'm not saying they wouldn't any other way. What are you saying? But make it good.
No, make a good movie. Take your time. Write a fucking movie. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't accept that. Not from you, Sturdy. I understand where you're coming from, but like from filmmakers, because I have heard it. I can't accept that. I'm sorry. You know how many filmmakers made it? You know, granted, doing maybe some crazy shit. I'm not saying
like Larry Cohen,
but there was original. It was even when you have James Cameron does Galaxy of Terror, you know, for Roger Corman. It's a cheesy fucking movie. But it's something original. It's something different. And he adds elements to it, and like he shows his creativity. You're showing
Piranha's Fly in Piranha 2.
Yes, that was his first. You know, but the whole point to this is like You're not doing that. You're holding on to a gimmick, hoping, but you're not making a good movie around it. So what do people give a shit about? Why should people give you more money? So you're just doing something to do something now? Get your ass in the fucking chair and write a fucking story that's good. Actually, maybe take a class or look online on how, or read a book or something on how to write a goddamn screenplay. Some people write their fucking way in the holes everywhere, but whatever. But the biggest part of it is, and yeah, make your movie, but like, put some thought into the story. Don't just say, it's going to be a killer chasing all these people around at whatever we have available. You can do that, and you can make it interesting if you think about it for more than 10 seconds. But anyway, I digress. That's
we live in a world that kind of has the same thing that I ever always thought about the internet. We're in a world that we could access the greatest library in the world no matter what. Well, what was it used for? Porn and cats. So right now we are in a area of AI portable recording devices and everything that you, for virtually jack shit, can make your own movie. The question is, like the internet, is that helping filmmakers and creativity, or is it causing a laziness that people aren't putting in the work that previous filmmakers did and made tight connections? So just putting that out.
I think AI should be looked at more in the way, in terms of filmmaking, and I'm only speaking on the way of filmmaking, but like, I think it should be looked at it more in the way of like, digital cameras, or whatever the evolution of technology within the editing softwares that have changed throughout the years. That it's part of the evolution, and we should use it as a tool. We should not use it to create. It should not be used to create. If it's used to help build, that's fine, and build a structure or something like that, that's fine. But it has to be you controlling it. It has to be you putting in the creative process of it. I think if it's used as a tool, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just adding to the technology. My problem with this is it's not like there are a lot of really talented people on like TikTok and Instagram Reels that make original stuff, and they are better than the filmmakers that are going out there and getting noticed because they're making bullshit like that. We got this public domain, or we have this gimmick, or we're doing this, or we're doing that. And it's like, maybe pay attention to some of these filmmakers on TikTok that are making like 5-minute little shorts that are just fantastic and blowing people away, and could probably do better or have original ideas.
Understand the importance of the cutting edge.
Nobody gives a shit. Nobody wants.
It's sad.
Yeah. So go back to the originals, like Sturdy is. The smart way.
That's how I found a vampire movie I fell in love with, going back to the originals. But I don't know, man. Like, for me, I'll watch anything for the most part, and I'll tell you how I feel about it. So, for you independent
filmmakers, I love your show. That's why I became a fan.
If you want me to review your movies and talk good about them, make a good fucking movie.
Exactly.
That's all I can say. Make a good fucking movie,
or make one bad enough that the passion shows.
Well, I do enjoy those two where it's like, it's so bad it's good, and I'm glad you said that, Trevor, because I'm going to jump back to last year's Sternovision, to where we had it was either Sternovision or it was during the summer, but it was with Friday the 13th stuff, like fan films and stuff, and we reviewed a fan film of Friday the 13th, and we didn't like it. We were telling him why we didn't like it. This, that, and the third. The guy seen it, asked if he can come on the show, came on, had a fun ass conversation with him, and he pretty much just told us, basically, like, it started off as him and his I don't know. I believe it was either him and his wife or him and his fiance at the time. I forgot. We're going to take
swingers.
No. Like they're going to take photos. They're both fans of Friday the 13th, so they're like going to like around the things and just taking pictures and stuff. And they were with friends, and like, hey, why don't we just make a movie? So they just made a movie like on a whim and had a great time with it. And after they told us that, I was like, that makes so much sense, and it makes me respect the movie.
That's okay. More. I don't mind that. That's great.
Yeah,
if you're
no, I know that. I know what you're
make
saying.
some fun movies put together, and it can be a cheesy story. No. I'm agreeing with you. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't want my snobbery of like, I'm talking the ones that are like, I'm a filmmaker, I'm putting this out, and it's a fucking gimmick, and you're hoping that it will catch on. Like that to me, that's people having fun. They're making movies, and I'll always enjoy.
I wasn't saying that combating what you were saying earlier. I was more so to just tagging on what Trevor was saying. And this
Oh
how,
yeah, I just think I want to attack myself on too.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that you can't, and Mick, you all will be able to agree with this, unless you're everyone connected is a fucking genius. To make a bad movie to be bad always sucks.
Yes.
To make a movie you love so much and you're willing to cut so many corners to get it to happen, and you need to pay people off, it's actually can be a great movie. You can't make bad the good bad. It makes itself.
I agree.
No, you're definitely right about that. You're definitely right about that. What a fun! This is a fun episode right here.
This is fun. Thank you.
Episode.
It has
But,
helped my
I did not have a good
mood quite a bit.
Awesome.
I had a terrible time, and I would like my money back.
Well, I'll tell you, get in line with everybody else. No refunds over here at HorrorWithSirSturdy podcast.
Son of a bitch.
I ain't selling shit.
Aaron's going to claim bankruptcy next year.
I'm not talking about my merch. I'm just talking about the actual podcast. Us sitting here in a discussion. Nobody paid to be on here, and nobody's getting paid to be on here either.
No,
Yeah,
he's owed me a hat, a winter's hat beanie, since 2019 or something.
That's my wife's fault.
With the interest belt popped on that.
Why'd you send me like this care package of like anal beads?
Because you said you wanted beads
Your
for your
face
birthday.
with your face on each bead. Like,
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, Aaron. If you had anal beads and the amount of the beads on there spelled out sturdy.
I'm not doing that. I was gonna say the whole. I'm trying to get people to come to horror with their sturdy. Not by
They're black beads with white letters. S on one, spelled out sturdy.
Wouldn't that be better for dildos and anal beads?
Oh
Actually,
no,
if you want to make money,
I
get
said anal
darts
beads.
or
I said that
sturdy
for
on
anal
a
beads.
wand.
Get a big ass black
That will make you
dildo.
money for all those women that love you.
Get a big ass black dildo that says sturdy in the middle of it.
Yeah, and each end has like blood, like horror style. Put blood on it. Bloody dick.
Why? You went there.
I go to bed.
Oh my god! Wow! I have no idea how we even got there. That really wasn't even me this time at all.
I mean, like maybe fangs or something, which is weird enough. But you went all out. You were like
effed up enough to begin with, or really, really hot, depending on how you look at it. So
Right.
Honestly, to each their own.
He's right.
No, shit.
To each their own.
I got too many things flowing through my head now, James. God damn you.
A lot of ideas, right? You can open up a fucking sex store now. Got the whole merch store for you.
Sturdy store for sex.
No. No. Why don't you two open up a sex shop together?
You got it's got the right ring with your name on it.
You could use sturdy.
We're gonna Sir Sturdy.
It's not Sir Sturdy, not
Sir
me.
Sturdy.
Aaron, just think about it. Your symbol, your creature. It'll be the stopper, but it's a butt plug.
Sir Sturdy's Sex Emporium. Peep shows out back. Trucker showers available.
If
you watch
Glory Hole.
If you watch Popcorn and Pies, people, we have a term over there called honking off when they get like this. This is what I'm talking
when
about.
The inner
Anybody from the
13-year-old
South
gets out.
Anybody from the South that's been on 95 will understand this. Cafe Sturdy.
Oh, God. Oh, gosh.
Well, I want to thank you, Sturdy, because on these episodes, you always leave me with a feeling of a happy ending.
I hope
Here at Sir Sturdy's Sex Emporium, you're going to leave with a happy ending.
Oh, man. Well, with that being said, people, we're gonna I'm not even gonna say that. We're gonna go. This is getting a little too Caucasian for me.
We're gonna
But,
go.
make sure you guys check out Ambassador Media. Make sure you guys check out the Scene Snobs, Popcorn and Pint, HorrorWithSirSturdy, and our brother over at Stories from a Bar. And we will see you in your nightmares. Well, I'll see you in your nightmares. I don't know where these guys are going to see you.